Oh, we're halfway. Smoochie! Oh, welcome back to another episode of Smoochie Town. And before we get to our amazing, hilariously talented guest, and you're also handsome, it's a Smooch of the Week. And guess what? Your boy's back on the prowl. Yes, he is single and ready to jingle, if you will. So I was at an after party the other night. And the funny thing about after parties with me is that if there's a beer pong table, I'm going to play. And I'm not going to talk to any girl the whole night because I'm calling Island, all right? So 2:30 comes around, time to get going. And a girl comes up to me. She was like, oh, you're pretty cute. Do you want to come home with me? And listen, I'm not one to argue. All right, so I went home with her. She calls an Uber SUV. That means I was excited. So she wants to invest time into the car. She wants to invest time into me. So we go to her place, studio apartment in Beverly Hills, open concept. I'm a sucker for one. But she couldn't stop talking about ordering food, so I ordered her food. Rigatoni bolognese. She's a big pasta freak. And then we started making out and such on her bed. And then she goes, just so you know, nothing's going to happen tonight. And I was like, okay, do you want me to go get the food? Because it's getting cold. So I went to get the food, came back. And then she would give me a kiss, get a little bite of rigatoni bolognese, and then give me another kiss, pasta breath. The whole night, it was weird. And listen, I'm a sucker for a good carbohydrate, but that rigatoni was not like back home in Rhode Island, okay? So approximately at 2 a.m., I was like, I am full of this, and so was she. And then I left. So long story short, Daddy is still single and ready to jingle, and that's a Smooch of the Week. Oh, God. That was a long one.
Oh,
now,
boy.
I'm pretty starstruck right now because I met him at the Bourbon Room one time as just a fanboy, and then now he's on my podcast. We did multiple shows together. I'm going to give it up for the actor, writer, comedian, Brent Morin!
What's going on? Yep. This is
There
how
it
it
is.
should always happen.
What do we
People
think
should
about
clap.
that Smooch of the Week? Well, Smooch of the Summer. We only dated 3 months.
I love how you saved yourself, though. But I still love you. Because that's just fear.
Yeah.
That's absolute. What else you got, though? Hey. You know what? I know it was you, and I'm fucking mad about it, but I love you. I love you. So just again, have fun in Chicago.
Have fun in Chicago.
I'll send you a jacket.
The worst time to move to Chicago.
I know.
Right?
Just right in the windy shitty.
The windy.
There you go. I love
there?
Chicago.
Obviously, you performed there. Right?
Love Chicago. I'm getting nuts in Chicago. That place is open at 5 a.m. I always call it like the Midwest, like Midwest kindness with a city vibe.
Okay.
You know, because people aren't as aggressive. They're fatter. they're you feel less shitty eating, but you're not going to get hit by a car. People aren't going to yell at you. They're going to go, "Oh, sorry, you go." But it's still a city.
Just polite.
Depends on which part of the city. I mean, I've explored all of it. I've had what I like to call a night in the shadows. That's what I do when I don't want to ruin my career and I want to just get lost in the shadows. So after midnight. I would do that at all those comedy festivals when agents.
You would jerk off?
I would go jerk off and then just pray to God they caught on. They're like, couldn't even see me in the lobby, boys.
Here he comes.
I mean, girls. But yeah, I would always go, all right, I'm gonna go dance in the shadows, and that's the way I would leave any industry event. If you're an actor or a comedian, or if you get invited to some industry party, or you're lucky to be at a festival. I knew this, luckily, before I could ruin anything. You hit that little wall, it's usually around 11 p.m., midnight.
Yeah.
I would just always go, all right, like a fucking blackjack dealer. I go, where are you going?
Oh, any insurance?
Yep. I'm going to go get lost in the shadows, and I don't want to be around anyone who could ruin my life the next day.
Oh, that's fun, though.
That's the best way to do it.
Going into like a small town and getting... Actually, you can't do that in small towns because people are more prone to probably know you because you're like the biggest fish in the small pond.
That's true, but that feels nice, too.
Yeah.
But those people also don't care. They'll tell you a million times, I don't give a shit what you do. I'm like, all right, nice to meet you. Like, all right, get them 3 shots. And we'll drive you home.
Yeah. Do you have any specifics about the nights in the shadows that are pretty memorable?
My favorite were Just for Last when that Montreal Fest was going on. I think I did it like 7 years in a row. And I would bring my cousin and my best friend from back east because Montreal's right there. And I would say, all right, I got to do this and this and this, all business stuff. And then everybody meets at the Hyatt bar. And then around 11 p.m., I said, we're getting lost in the shadows. We're going to go into the city.
Oh, it's a known. Oh, you're taking the reins.
Yeah. And if they're like over talking or doing something, talking to some agent or producer or something, I go, hey, shadows. And then you let the night take you. I advise everybody to do that. You have Christmas parties coming up. Just fucking, once you hit that little wall, just go, all right, and you want to keep the night going? Let's go get lost in the shadows. And you'll be surprised if you use fun words, people follow. Because by the next year, people are like, you getting in the shadows tonight? Because, dude, I would end up at like raves that look like the movie Blade. You're meeting nice French girls who finally get to wear warm clothes for once. I'm walking their bicycles home. I fell in love every time I was there. 5 a.m., you might run into an agent who's eating a gyro, some shit, poutine. And I'm just walking some girl named Tatiana back to her one bedroom as she's a painter. I mean, there was so many every year. I just, where were you? Lost in the shadows. And I just had a fucking blast.
Oh, God. Yeah. I want to go to the shadows so badly now.
And then I'd run into other comics, and I was like, how'd last night go? I think I stayed too long, man. I think I told so-and-so this and this and that and this. I go, buddy, you just got to know you're going to fuck up. And when you know you could fuck up with the locals.
That's acceptance, too.
That's
and
great advice.
More fun.
Yeah.
You just surround some dudes like kitchen table for like 7 a.m. just talking about bad business ideas.
Oh, we ended up, my cousin's very attractive, so I would be on stage trying my ass off to get any girl to like me. And I get off stage and he's very quiet and he'd be like, hey, these two girls want to take us to this party? And it's like 2 5'11" gorgeous women. And I'm like, yeah, I guess they're models. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And then they'd be like, nice to meet you. Oh, the accent got me. Yeah. Of course, they're all over him. But then, I'm dancing with
you're going to get some
French guy. Yeah. But we ended up at some loft. I remember they were like, we're going to this nightclub thing. Then we went to some loft after that. And these two guys, they were way too old to be with them. Obviously have their little party loft, and they go, respect my place. And I didn't know we were going to a place because it was like, those warehouse stores. Yeah. And it was just basically set up to cheat on their wives, it seemed like, because they were like businessmen in suits, but they were like in their 50s, and they just had a whole Red Bull fridge and vodka fridge and all that. And it was just this small party for this kid, I believe was named Shyla, who beautiful, even the guys were beautiful. So he's just some beautiful guy with long hair. So they were throwing him a birthday party, probably 26, tan all year, and I'm just there sitting on a couch with the worst music, just as people dance and just they're going nuts. They're getting shadowy. I don't talk. Things are getting a little lost. And then you walk home at 6 a.m. like, what the fuck just happened tonight?
But no girl.
Oh, there was girls.
No. I mean, I spend too much time like broing out or playing beer pong or doing anything that like comes 6 a.m. when I do have my dick in my hand.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, fuck, I should have spoken to more girls.
It's true. We did walk home alone. Just me and my cousin on the streets of Montreal. Yeah. Just knowing a few more French people. But yeah, you get lost in the shadows. Have yourself an adventure. I
feel like Montreal is probably the best place to lose yourself in the shadows. LA is, I can't. LA is like I like sports bars. I like Barney's Beanery and stuff like that. But
I like Shitty Wood, and like a couple old guys that just are there,
Always.
Always there. And they come in like, hey, Greg. Hey, Tatia, let me get the, I got you. And then they have papers, like actual newspapers. Yeah. I love that shit. And then somebody playing pool, selling drugs, and it's like they all kind of know each other. And that's safe. Accurate. That's more shadowy here in LA because LA is shockingly small. That's what I've learned. It's like you can meet a girl or even some dude, and it's like, my friend so-and-so. You could be in the middle of nowhere. And
that's
like,
not shadows.
No, that's not shadows. Shadows is you're in an argument at a bar in Boston with some guy about a horse race in Europe that's going on way too late, and you don't know why you're arguing and sounding like him, like, fuck you. No, you didn't know that Pony the Express should have won that. It's in the name. All right, have a good night. Yeah, you too. That's shadows. That's city shadows.
I love it. It's that rover mode. It's the rover mode. You're just going like lights on, no one's home. And no matter how much you drink, you're not throwing up.
No. No, because you can't. And also, you're getting in so many weird arguments that are, I think, conversations. Yeah. You're making friends with, you're right, guys. And, there's no girls around. And then you're just going home, and the next day you're hungover. But you're like, fucking hell, I didn't even black out. Nothing happened. Why do I feel like I look like my uncle now? Yeah. Just wake up puffed up and Irish. Oh, it's the best.
What's up? So, enough about the shadow talk. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. What's up with your dating life? What would you say is like? Have you been on any like crazy dates recently? How's dating in LA comparatively to Boston? By the way, I'm also from the East Coast, Providence, Rhode Island.
I'm
I don't know why I just did that to you.
No, I'm Hartford, Connecticut. Oh, okay. But we didn't have much, so you go to Massachusetts, or I just learned I could have gone to New York too, but. I moved out here when I was 18, so most of my actual dating has been in LA. Yeah, and it's been wild. There's been I just picked the wrong women. I really do. It's on me. My insecurities and vulnerabilities and vanity get in the way a lot. Because now I'm 38 and I'm really thinking like, wow, I think it's time to find the one. And but then I'm going out with girls named Fire.
Where are you meeting Fire?
I don't even know. Could it be Instagram? Probably. Or just some weird art show that somebody I knew had. And then, she's tall and I'm feeling puffy. And she says yes. So we go on a date and her name's spelled Fire. It's actually Fire. There was no other name. So now I'm thinking, who are her parents? Barcode tattooed on the back of her neck.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. I asked what that represents. She said nothing. That threw me off. I wanted to scan it so bad. I mean, I'm either it's usually that. I always say, and this is not a knock on actresses or models, very pretty, but I was like, I'm not dating an actress anymore because I've done that so much. Here's what I will say. A working actress is...
That's what I was going to say.
Because I've been lucky to work as an actor, and the girls I work with have all been awesome. They have like a head on their shoulders. They have a career. They have a job. Yeah. I want a girl with a job.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You heard it her first. Yeah. Girl with a job.
Ambition and a job.
I think that's pretty reasonable too. But in LA, I feel like girls want to wait for the guy to give them the life that they've always wanted.
I know. And oops, ain't me.
Hey, not yet.
You have a carpet? Whoops. Yep, I have carpet.
Besides Fire, what would you say your worst date was?
Oh boy, I mean, God, there's so many. At a certain point, you got to blame yourself for everything, So and maybe it's me putting myself in situations, but I was thinking about this the other day. Like I wrote down a list. Like, all right, what do you want though, Brent? Because you're not doing it right. Like I have fun, and a lot of girls that I've been with or dated, I'm still cool with. My whole logic is this: if I'm not willing to give up my life, like, because you have to compromise in a relationship, that's an important lesson. Like, be aware that an actual relationship is a compromise. You have to be willing to give up things you may like, some of that independence, for the betterment of the relationship. So if they're not worth that to me, I can tell right away. Yeah. And so I already have set a standard by letting them know I'm not looking for anything serious, but you seem great, and let's laugh and have fun and get nuts.
Well, what if someone loves you for that and loves you for you, but then over the course of time you feel like that same old song and dance, like me going to Barney's, being social, inviting them to comedy shows, flirtatious Marco, it gets old after a few months. It does,
but I think we got to be aware of it. So I was definitely a workaholic with one girl in particular where I was like, I'm going to marry this girl. So I said, I want to be your boyfriend, which I never did. I never do.
How long into the relationship was this?
This is, I said that probably a week in. Oh, like, okay. I was like, I flew.
I never do this.
Yeah, I never like that. I'm a hopeless romantic, and I said, this is the one. It's everything. It's right. I've dated and lost enough to realize you. And then she enjoyed, like, I don't want to hang with my friends. I want to come to the comedy club. I want to come hang out with you. I want to be around you. And I said, about a month and a half into that, if this relationship's going to work, we're going to have to make time for things you want to do. Like, I have to meet your friends. Maybe she was ashamed of me, but you have to do that. That's the compromise. And if they're not going to do it, you got to force it. Otherwise, you're not for me. Maybe some guys like that it's all about them, But
so you don't like how she was so obsessed with you.
I didn't like it in the beginning, and then we were able to hang out with some of her friends, and oops. But no, they were okay. They were nice. But forced friendships with boyfriends is tough. You know, there's a lot of boring people out there. Like, I'm a lunatic, and my friends are kind of lunatics, but that's fun. Life is fun that way. I mean, there's chaotic days, but when you meet somebody who's just went to college and got the job, and he's climbing up. He's climbing up, and he's talking to you about some book that just came out that's obsessive to him, and I'm just going, I got nothing in common with Corey, you know. And then he goes, so what are you reading? Oh, fuck. You know, then I have to have those relationships, because you also somehow have to get along with them. And then because you're a comic, people always think you're going to be funny.
I hate that.
And it's off. When it's off, it's off. So then it's a fight. Then it's always... Yeah. Why were you being so rude tonight? Yeah. I wasn't being rude. I was listening. I didn't know anything about this book. And he wanted to talk about it. Okay.
I let him lead the reins in the conversation.
Yeah, I don't read. I don't know. I said, you want to get silly? You want to go into the shadows? We'll do that.
I can do that. I even asked him if he wanted to.
And she, of course, she goes, this is the most fun ever. I go, oh, it's all laughs. Here, it's the funniest people in the world I hang out with. But now I'm at a dinner party, a forced one, too young. And we're just sitting there as if that's what we need to do. And it's just, oh, you have to try what I just made. I just saw this. Oh, when I hear that. Can you do me a favor, though? Can you just dice this, move that, put that there, do this, make that? I go, so I'm making it.
Why am I involved in the process of the macaroni salad?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you better have a game face. You better be like, of course. You can't go, all right. It's like, can I talk to you about that fucking thing you said in the car? In the car, we're going to talk. And then it's just a checklist of what you did wrong. So I'm working on it, ladies.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to find someone that you can compromise with. Because I have friends who are like, I don't want to pick her up at the airport. I go, yeah, but if you don't, you're going to deal with 10 different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even if she says, I don't want to ride, I'll just Uber. Can
be an issue.
That's a test.
My buddy recently, who's older than me, he's got this girlfriend, and we were at this charity event, and then I go, well, let me call the car service or an Uber. And he goes, oh, no, she's going to pick us up. And I said, ooh, LAX? What? And he goes, no, she really wants to. I go, no one wants to. Yeah. All right? She might say she does, but that's ammo. 2 days later, she has to go somewhere. And she's like, babe, can you take me at 5 a.m. to LAX? And he goes, well, I just got home. I can't. So I can pick you up, but then you can't pick me. Okay, and you won't even drive me. And I said, yeah, told you. I go, you can't do that. It works both ways.
I think it should be an unwritten rule that, like, LAX pickups, drop-offs.
It's
Christian,
a breakup.
You look like a guy that picks someone up from the airport.
Bro, my brother pays me to do it, thankfully, because it's like a $150 Uber, maybe a little more from where we live. She's like, I'll just give you $100 if you just take me. So I'm like, all right, yeah. But then
that's fine. That's a transaction.
But then when I come in, I'm like, yo, like, can you pick me up from the airport? He's like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. He's like, I don't need the money to do it anyway.
Does he pay you $100 to call the Uber?
No. He's like, just figure it out. I'm like, oh, okay, great. So fuck me.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm learning those things. Like, you make a checklist, and you have to look at yourself, and then you go, all right, what was not working in that relationship? Because my girl, that ex, that was younger, she would always want to pick me up. And then when we broke up, that was one of the things that she was always mad about, that I didn't know. But I was like, you wanted to. You surprised me. I realized no one wants to. LAX is the worst. You basically can ruin your relationship on that fucking drive on the 405 to the worst airport and getting out of LAX. And if you're just going, oh, you got a spot, there's a lane. I think I know what I'm doing. I'm picking you up, and I don't really need this right now. Okay. And then that whole fucking driving traffic back, now you got a whole fight, and you're jet lagged, and my God, the questions. Yeah. So I always say, spend the $50 million to just get home and let somebody be home.
That's fair, because then she's probably getting ready for you rather than driving. And then, like, honestly, like, if a girl picks me up from the airport, which I've had multiple times, you're getting out in the passenger and I'm driving home.
Yeah.
I'm not suffering through you driving as well.
But that also can show that hey, you drove here, I got it.
Yeah. So
You know?
then it's kind of like,
Yep.
then you're allowed to go out in the shadows and you turn
Yeah. Yeah, you just take a left anywhere outside of LAX, you'll find the shadows.
I got a quick question for you. So she recently moved to Chicago, right? And she told me she didn't want to be with me.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Didn't want to be with me. I'm single now, as far as we see it, right?
Yeah.
So a week later, I had sex with someone, and it somehow reported back to her. Like,
How?
They weren't a mutual friend. So the friend that told my ex was friends with the girl, but my ex didn't know the girl, nor did I know the girl.
Yeah.
Really. So came to a comedy show. We hooked up that night, and then that girl felt so bad to the friend that told my ex, so she came clean, and then the friend told my ex, and then the ex was like, why couldn't you just wait for me? I was in Chicago, it's only been, you were always mine. How was I supposed to know that? You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, did she end it and she goes, I can't be with you because I'm moving to Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's
And
on
she
her.
was like, maybe down the road we can be together, but right now I need to focus on me. You should focus on you. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I had sex with the girl the week later. I'm single. That's
Yeah.
not fair. And that
Yeah.
friend only told my ex to like prove her like loyalty and clout because she has like 1 million followers. However, that girl, you're only making her deliberately mad because there's no reason for her to tell you. Why would you tell her that?
Exactly.
There was no reason for that.
That's a selfish thing to do.
Yeah, and
because
it's also
if
very
it was
childish
loyalty,
and-
she wouldn't sleep with you. You know, the friend, like that friend
Yeah,
that hooked up.
yeah.
It's you already did it. You can't just sleep. Hey, my bad.
Yeah.
Fuck your ex.
Yeah.
Just wanted to come clean. So
No, it wasn't even
there's
that. It was a
nothing
middle girl between it.
Oh.
So the girl I had sex with didn't know my ex.
weird. Okay.
And I didn't really know the girl either.
Yeah.
So then told a friend of my ex's and the friend that.
Oh God.
Another character to the story arc here.
But you never wonder. It's always what are you doing though? I noticed this with exes.
See?
The ex-girlfriends tend to be in relationships before a guy is. Like I think after a breakup. You know?
The ex-girlfriends tend to be.
Yeah, I always noticed that. And maybe they already were in the middle of it while we were dating, but it seems like they move on. At least the girls I've dated, they move on to a new relationship pretty like a couple months later, or a month later. I'm too fucking heartbroken. I don't want to be in something. You know, they say men are the only men can die from a broken heart. They say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's a
Wow.
Brent fact.
I must have
but-
died and came back to life a few times.
But they say that, yeah, when a husband loses his wife or something, they could actually die from a broken heart, but not the other way around. Women, I love you. But that's what I heard.
So, like, I think
probably
God-
at a bar next to the guy betting on the horses. Okay, that's where I get my info because I don't read.
I think guys can like maybe have sex with someone and
Sure.
don't treat it as emotional or anything, but girls
No.
will get back emotionally with someone.
Yeah, it's like sex for them.
And it's a tough time in LA specifically, I think, because like you have so much competition as a guy. Yes, being stand-up is cool, you live a cool life and whatnot, but it doesn't mean that you can be able to financially provide for them as much as other professions can, especially
True.
off the rip.
There's a lack of stability, you
Yeah.
know, especially you get older and girls now they have their checklist. Well, how stable is this going to be? Or what is this going to be? I remember my little brother was a doctor and I asked him, I said, dude, hook me up with a doctor. It was after a breakup. I said, maybe I should date someone completely out of my profession. Like, and you work at Cedars. They're beautiful. They're smart.
Yeah.
And he goes, doctors don't date clowns.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
Which I'm like, it made me laugh. When I went, yeah, I guess that'd be hard to explain at any, dinner party. Be like,
Yeah.
so what do you do? What was that? Yeah, so I was talking about dicks. What was it, last night? Oh, so you work in surgery? No. Comedic surgery. You guys should come. I'll get you free tickets. 2 drink men, though. I'm here.
Two drink men get into this hospital.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to find out. I remember I just actually opened my Bumble again just to take a look. Because I was on that Raya app. And then...
Oh, no, everyone's hot. No one's making moves. Waste of time.
And then it was also... I got banned from it because the waitresses at the comedy... It's either my
Wait, time out. What happened? You got banned?
Well, either my ex-girlfriend got me banned from it because I know her friends saw, and she was very pretty, and I think maybe knew the owner. I don't think she would do that, but I think it could be the waitresses at the Comedy Store because they're like sisters to me, and I'm in the back, like it's right when Raya happened. It was right after the breakup, and I got on it, and they were like, "Can we see? Can we see? We want to see what this app is because it's new." So I said, "Yeah. Just don't write anything." But I just gave my phone to the 10 girls are always looking out for me.
Yeah.
And next day I'm banned. So I was like, ladies, can I talk to you? What did you write? Because fuck the app. Who cares? I don't need to be on the app. But what did you write?
Yeah.
And I think I found out through one of the managers that they were jokingly writing certain girls, I like pizza up my butthole. Yeah. Which is harmless in a way. It's not a line. But if that got me kicked off, that means that I walk in anywhere, somebody's going, that's the guy who likes pizza up his asshole.
Yeah. Now, it's not only affecting the app, it's affecting multiple Domino's locations.
Yeah. They spread a rumor that's not cool enough.
Yeah.
Do something badass, you know? Well, maybe not.
What would have been your opener on these apps? What was it?
This is how I know I didn't do anything weird or inappropriate. This is all I'd write. Hi. And then in parentheses, I'd write, I know, what an original start.
Okay.
That's all I would do.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. You should put part of your joke, halai. But I don't think they get it.
Yeah. Are you branding this?
Yeah.
I used to back when Instagram was a thing and I was dating, like just perpetually single and focused on my career. I truly was just Instagram. It was right there. So what I do is, and many people took this from me. I shouldn't have told other friends of mine, because I would send a photo of Gizmo from Gremlins. You know? Little Gizmo.
Gizmo from Gremlins.
Yeah. Look up one of the Gizmos. Yeah, okay. So I'd send
it's
that
like a
one.
Furby.
Yeah. So the first one on the left, or actually that one.
This one.
Right diagonal below it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'd send that.
That's creepy.
And
as
I would
fuck.
go, "Hi, this is my son. Figured I'd get it out of the way." And that worked really well because it was harmless, it was funny, and God knows how many creeps hit her up.
Figured I'd get it out of the way.
But then I told some friends, some more popular friends, and then I would send it, and some girl would go, "So, yeah, I already got Gizmoed," you know, or something like that. So I went, shit, somebody's just taking my Gizmo.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that.
I'm 100% going to use that.
Yeah, I would use that. You know,
you see the image Christian says.
Yeah.
You can do that with.
I say, why
you can
not?
do that with really anything, though.
Exactly, and it's kind, and it's funny, and it's not like creepy. You know, I mean, he looks a little creepy, but he's cute.
If I got the response back from a girl saying, "Sorry, I don't want kids," or that would make me even love her.
Yo,
even
then
more.
I'd
Like,
go,
the
she
banter
gets it.
right off.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I would always get, ha ha ha, like, wow, this is a new one. You know, stuff like that.
I
And
can
that would,
see him.
yeah.
I can see him in you, or something like that.
Yeah, I would. Gizmo worked. That was
right.
a lot of fun because I always thought this. I think I was on TV at the time, and I always thought if for some reason a DM leaked to some site, I want it to be hilarious. Like Brent Morin, you know, hitting up Instagram girls, and then it's just a shit ton of gizmos and. I would just go, if I didn't know him, I go, this guy's fucking hilarious.
The
What is he
Gizmo
doing?
God, Brent Morin, strikes again in your daughter's DMs.
And Brent's response, I'm in the silly business. I like silly fun. Shadows.
Oh, that's your follow-up.
Yeah. Shadows.
What's your ideal date? Like when
man.
when you get Gizmo to work, when it works, you got him in your Gizmo hands.
I always think dating is so fucking hard to do, but sometimes if it's like a girl I've never met, it's just easy to say if you and some friends want to come to a show. That might seem like a flex, but in reality, it makes people comfortable. If I bomb, I don't see them again. If it goes well, it makes them know me. So then they're like, "Oh, okay, you're not some crazy person who sends gizmos like that." But say it's like a date, because I just had an adult date about 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
and yeah, like, you know,
it's an adult date.
Yeah,
it's like a Nancy Myers movie, you know, just fucking dinner and
walking by the park.
Yeah. So what I like,
I
like white tablecloth places. So Italian if I can, but I don't want a heavy Italian. And usually a nice bottle of wine, low music, so you can have a conversation. you know, and then after that you get a nice espresso, so you're a little awake. Take a fart walk, you know. Hopefully it's a nice walk around place. It's not too late of a dinner. It's ideal. Maybe you stop for a little dessert, and then just to kiss goodnight. Sometimes you go back to their place and you watch a movie or something. I'm becoming more and more like a widower. I think as I get older, it's more and more like that. Other times when I'm in my 20s, it was meet me at this bar, you know, because I always felt like I would go to some place though that was maybe had like a piano, you know, like somebody's playing nice background music. It's not a fucking dive. It's not like one of the shadow places. It's got a little class to it. You get just a wine or a whiskey. You could sit in chairs like this, have nice conversation. Because I think a little liquid courage, at least for me and them, you know, just one drink each can loosen you up.
Yeah.
You know, you have a good talk. I think a movie, you're not talking, you're watching, and you're thinking. And so you're not even watching. I think coffee is just, it's a little too daytimey for me. You know, that seems like a big one on apps. Oh, let's get a cup of coffee. And it's like, okay, that'll make you talk. But then you might not be connecting in some emotional way. I always say dinners are events and lunches for friends, you know, because you could have a real talk with friends at lunch, you know. Like there's people that I'll go to dinners with, like guys, girls, that I'm not going to lunch with, you know.
Oh yeah,
because lunch is a friend and a life, and fucking it's noon and it's bright.
yeah.
Where dinner,
You're not
it's
drinking to entertain it.
Yeah,
during
and you're
lunch.
not.
You can.
There's not 10
but-
people there, at, you know. But dinner, fuck it, yeah, let's all go to dinner, you know. But if somebody was like, let's get lunch, it better be a meeting.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, I think coffee and lunch feels a little like a meeting, and it doesn't make me comfortable. But
What
if
about
it's-
like an active date? Like a bowling action, maybe a runyon.
I think that's
Mini golf?
Bitches love runyon.
Mini golf.
Mini golf. Mini golf's not bad. That needs to come back.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I don't know if that's a first date thing. I say second dates are activities.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because you don't want to be spending all this
Yeah.
money on this activity and the girl sucks.
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
fair.
ideally, if
Or
you're
she sucks at bowling.
yeah, or she's great, and
Yeah.
that just bothers me competitively. And she's
Never see
letting
her
me
again
know.
because of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can even get like kind of like your bearings on a girl on the first date. Maybe go gun range.
Well, they'll get the bearings of you.
Yeah. Listen, I ain't bringing a girl on a date to a gun range that I don't know. That's a little dicey, no?
Especially if she's a good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Might
She's
know your
unhinged.
future.
She like points a gun at you. So who's in your
Yeah.
DMs? Who's Tiffany? Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Or she
you're
hacked your
next.
Google account. That's fair.
yeah.
Woo! It's
Yeah.
like, whoa. Did you just put a gun to your own head?
Oh,
I have good
don't
days and
know.
bad.
I actually brought a girl to a gun range, and
yeah?
nothing like that happened, like where she pointed at anyone, but she was shooting, and then she was like so excited that she turned around with the gun, fingers still on the trigger too,
Oh, no.
and turned around and pointed at all of us. She's like, oh my god, pointing it.
Wow.
We're all ducking for cover,
That's
like, oh
not
my god.
protocol.
I'm like,
No.
that's not. I think they told her not to do
yeah.
that.
First and last time I
So,
saw her.
she's a rule breaker,
Yeah.
kind of hot.
Not a great listener.
Not
Yeah.
a great listener, but you know those are always the best ones in bed.
Yeah, I mean, you know what else I've never done, but it seems like it could be a good one, like a baseball game. Because you got nothing but time to get to know each other. You're not gonna miss the action. You could look up when it happens. You're
That's true.
outside. You know,
Ooh,
you're
I
at
like
an
that.
event of some sort. You can people judge.
Yeah.
You know, if you run out of shit to talk about, you can go, look at this guy over here. You know, that always works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good
You know
one.
what's not a good one? Playoff hockey. 'Cause
Yeah.
your,
Oh, yeah.
your eyes are on the puck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who's with me. I'm watching the game, not you.
Yeah.
But when they get cold, something about hockey game, like regular season, your team is sucking. There's
Yeah.
no really stakes in the game. Hockey, I think, is a good experience, and introducing girls to hockey because that fast pace, I think, gets them going like like sexually. I don't know.
Yeah,
Right? Nothing
till they
smells
DM a
doggy.
player.
Nothing smells reverse cowgirl.
I actually never understand why a guy would bring like a first date to a comedy show that's not a comedian. You know, like I don't consider that a date night, like a first date. If I'm performing and I invite a girl, I consider that a meeting. Like we're meeting for the first time. Oh yeah, if you want to come to a show, this and that. But what I don't, and I never thought about it, but a buddy of mine just started seeing a girl, and me and some other comic were like, bring her to the show. He goes, yeah, no, I'm not going to bring a first date to a show to see somebody on stage funnier than me.
Oh, that's fair.
And I went, I never thought about it like that. Like, yeah, stand-ups are easy. You know, you go to a hockey game, they're over there. Yeah. On stage, you're running into us in the bathroom. You're running into us here.
Attainable.
Yes, it's attainable. We're talking. It's your first time with this person. I understand girlfriend, boyfriend, or marriage. You know, we need something to do. A lot of times I joke that I go, you're here because you're depressed or the marriage is falling apart. Because you can laugh at home with 50 streaming services, but it's so bad you got to get out of the fucking house to save this marriage. Yeah. That I joke on stage. But if I see a first date, I'm like, nah, that's probably not good because it hasn't happened to me. I
want to fuck your first date.
Well, what happens is, hey, I'm on a date. He's kind of a bore, and you know, I've seen that happen in the hallway at the Comedy Store so many times. First dates where a girl, because she's not loyal, and I've seen it with guys to girl comics. Yeah, with first dates. Don't go to the comedy club on a first date. You're gonna ruin, because especially for guys, you want to hopefully be the funniest person she's with that night. You want to have a personality. Yeah. That's a big part with anybody in a relationship. At least for me, you know, unless you look like Thor, you know, like you want to have the personality on the date. You don't want to show 15 other people that have a personality on your first date with a girl, and they're elevated physically and comedically, and you're down here getting your sugar-free Red Bull vodkas. Yeah. And then she's, you know, hey, I'm so-and-so, DM, hey, saw you at the store. You know, that's happened. I've had that, and I just feel bad for the guy, so I never respond. I'm like, what are you doing?
What a true, just a stand-up
But if they're
guy.
dating, if it's a first date, then you're playing the field.
Fair game.
But the date, the girl should never be like, why wouldn't she? She's on this first date. We don't know if it's a blind date. We don't know why they're here, how long they knew each other before this date. Like, she has every right to hit on someone else there, the same way that he would have some type of right to go hit on someone else, I think. That's why first dates at a comedy club is just, you're asking to compete all night.
You know why you don't do it too? Because the number one fear in the world, obviously, as you know, is public speaking. Worse than sharks, worse than death and shit. So, like, seeing a guy that is literally doing something that you and your first date are absolutely terrified more than death of, I'd want to sleep with him too.
Yeah. Or it's also a good thing because you find out this isn't the one, because I learned right away, especially if they get too wasted, because there's a sense of insecurity. So now she's drunk and she's yelling out, you know, like, or you find out she's a bad laugher, or she doesn't get etiquette, or same thing with the guy. The guy's boo, right? It's like, okay, well, not dating this person.
What's your worst heckling experience?
Well, I've had so many, but I think there are two that stand out that I guess technically were bad, but they turned out to be, all three of them were bad at the time, but they turned out to be kind of great.
Clip-wise?
Not even, no. This was like when I was first starting, I remember I did a gig in Kansas City. It was a Saturday night show, and the crowd was just wasted because it was in the middle of Kansas City. So, yeah, it was a lot of farmers, and this is their night out, and so they're all fucking wasted. And the guys opening for me are locals, and I've never seen a crowd just not pay attention more. It was like making announcements in a cafeteria as a principal or some shit. And so I get on stage, and I was like, I'll wait. And I didn't speak for like 5 minutes till everybody stopped talking. Then I talked. I said, okay. And then they started talking again at me, to themselves. So then I said, okay, you're obviously not going to pay attention to this whole show, because they were gone. Yeah. All of them. Packed room. So I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to allow everybody here to say something to me. All right? But you got to raise your hand and you will lose. I remember when I had delusional confidence, I did this. I was like 25. And they raised their hand. They would try to roast me. I won. I connected all of them. Long story short, the fire marshal showed up, or the police, with riot gear and kicked the whole crowd out.
Oh, my God.
And I just went, thank you so much. I'm never coming back. So that was one. And then El Paso, Texas, I did a Sunday show. And they had, like, wire up, like, and it was going to sell out. And I was like, whoa, selling out? It's like I'm 24, 25. it was for a biker gang who they do this like once a month. They just come in, they like to heckle and fuck with a comic, the headliner. So it's packed like Roadhouse with them throwing bottles and shit. And so then I just lost it, and I said, "You guys think you're tough? You match, okay?" I go, "You're wearing vests, okay? And one of you sews. One of you has to fucking sew." And I just went for it.
That just can't be staying on the entire time.
One of you was just like, "I got it," you know. Luckily, they didn't want to kill me. They ended up loving me, and they drove me home to the Holiday Inn on their motorcycles, like in a big motorcycle gang. So that, and I was still working as a PA at Conan, but I got this like $500 gig. I was like, got to do it.
Yeah.
That one was great. The most uncomfortable one was I was in Texas, and this guy was heckling, but heckling in such a like vicious way, like "fuck you," like "you suck," like really bad, to the point that I went, "You guys hear him?" And they're like, "Yeah." I go, "You know what? Get out." Like, I was just over this person. I said, "You're kicking me out?" I said, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here. All right? We don't need your goddamn negative energy in this fucking show. Get the fuck out." And then the security, get him out. I'm not dealing with that shit. We could have fun, and you're not having fun. So just go. And then he goes, "I can leave myself." Me.
Oh no.
He had the electric wheelchair. Me, and he's like in the front. I couldn't see it because it was dark, and hitting chairs. And it was not new, so it was loud and not fast. So it was just.
Oh no way.
And I went, and I just stayed silent. And the crowd is completely like, And I go, "Well, he was an asshole." Apparently, he had done that a lot, and so the club was fine kicking him out.
Oh, right.
Because I guess he had an attitude, but I would have given him a
Roll
break.
out here.
But he's like, "I got it," and I was like, so those three come to mind right away because I'm
Oh
like,
my
that
God.
was
I don't know which one's my
uncomfortable.
favorite. I think the second one.
I think that one is my
That one's
favorite.
your favorite?
Yeah, because that was just back against the wall, go from fear to fuck my life and fuck this gig.
Yeah.
But still somehow made them laugh, and they liked it. And then I was like, then when I realized I had them, I said, "Who's the weakest?" You know. Then I was able to just go and say shit to them that would get me killed off stage, you know, and it worked. But those were all tests because I was really new and probably had 20 minutes of real material going out doing an hour.
Yeah.
By the time I got to Texas, that's, you're less. I would just want to do my show, dude, and you're being loud. Get out of here. I get jaded, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. Didn't know you were disabled.
Do you have any going on these tours and such? As you do you have anything? It's gonna bring us to our Jungle Tea segment. Welcome to the jungle. What's the wildest place you've had sex?
Had sex?
Yeah.
Wildest place? Like physical place?
Physical place. Oh, you could be mentally somewhere else, I guess, in the shadows.
Well, I've had more wild sexual things on the road. Like, I remember one time I was in Orlando, and this girl headbutted me.
Sorry, what?
It was a sex accident. We weren't good. We were new dance partners. Okay? So we're hooking up. I had a night. I went to pick her up, but she went up at the same time, and her tooth like went into my head, and I started bleeding, and we had to call to get Band-Aids from the concierge. And I'm just sitting there in the bathroom. She goes, "Sorry, I thought you were going down when I was going up." And I'm like, yeah, we haven't worked out our inner workings as a couple. We met 2 hours ago, so. And then I think, there's so many weird ones. The beach, that's just the emotion takes you. When I was younger, and then some girl's like, "Let's go to the beach." And then you go out there on the beach. It's freezing for you and your little man.
Yeah.
And you just try your best and then totally forget that there's just somebody watching and I think filming. So I don't know where that is. But
You're going to ask him for the film.
Oh, yeah. And then some time there was a girl way back when I did a gig somewhere in like Orange County. After the show, she just said, I think I was 22 or 3. And she goes, "Hey." I go, "Hi." And she was very cute. She goes, "I really want to fuck you tonight." And I go, "What?" Well, that's okay. And
check your little
I
sketch.
was like, where? I don't live here. I have work in the morning. And she goes, it's okay. We'll go to, just follow me. And so I followed her. She took me to her office, like an office building. It had like a small, that she's not the boss. She just had keys. Now that I think about it, maybe she was married. And we hooked up, and then as we're hooking up in like I guess maybe where her desk is, like right when I think she was an assistant. But as we're hooking up, I notice cameras everywhere because it's an office. And she goes, oh, shit. And
like security cam footage.
Yeah.
I thought she had like tripods set up like she was about to film a porno with you.
I have caught a girl do that to me twice, where they set up an iPhone in the closet.
No way.
Yeah. I saw the light and caught somebody with an iMac, or not an iMac, that'd be fucking so obvious.
Not even a laptop, the big cord.
You got a desktop in your closet? But yeah, just set up, I think it's because I was right on TV. I was like, I don't think you know how fame works. I'm not famous. That's not selling. Yeah. And I noticed that that happened to me 2 separate times with 2 different girls. And
just in the closet and it was on?
And they had it set up, and you could see like their little MacBook camera on.
No way.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful about that.
Mm-hmm.
What
Christian,
happened
not
after?
you, but...
Huh?
Well, I stopped it and
with
deleted
girls.
it. Yeah. I stopped it and
Chris
deleted
is the
it.
one recording you.
Yeah. I was one in the closet. I was one on the beach. I'll sell it to you if you want.
Okay. No, I don't want to buy me. For notes? Yeah, that happened twice. I've caught girls when I'm sleeping taking photos of me.
Really?
Yeah. And then what?
Does it kind of give you like a little ego boost though?
Scares me because I'm like, oh, come on. I'm not fucking Leo, you know?
No, it's like the fact that they would even take a photo to use somehow in any way is like, oh my God, because taking a photo means that like this moment may never happen again.
Yeah. I got drugged a couple times, so I don't think I actually had sex, but I did get roofied before.
By a girl?
Oh, yeah, multiple times.
What was that like?
I don't remember.
And why do girls have to do that? Like if a girl is down, I'm pretty much down too.
I'm pretty obvious about it too. But yeah, I had that happen. I caught one girl doing it, so I was able to stop.
No way.
And then, there was one more that was. I was in Nashville, which was like the bachelorette capital of the world, and I went to this bar. I won't name for obvious reasons. And there was a bunch of bachelorette girls that were at the show. So then they all ended up at the bar after the show. And the bride-to-be, because I saw the sash, I'm in a bathroom, and it's a dive bar, so it's just a one-person bathroom. I guess I didn't lock it. She just came in and locked the door behind. And I had to be like, I'm not sleeping with you. You're getting married. She goes, it's fine, just one time. And then it was like a kind of a...
I love that's her pitch.
Yeah. It was kind of like a wrestling match to get to the door for me to get it open to get her friends to grab her, because she was kind of aggressively trying to keep me in there. And then I started worrying like, this is not, I'm very much like, well, okay, because I'm thinking like this could look so bad. People will think I did this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but she was petite, so it wasn't as scary. I did realize how scary it is to be a woman, because that's reverse. That's terrifying. Yeah. But then I had to get her friends like, hey, your friend is, yeah, that happens so weirdly on the road.
I feel like once you don't want it, then they come to you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Especially if that girlfriend energy, if you like display that in public, girls want you even more for some reason.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're doing now. Like, if they're still together now.
Oh, married with kids, having a great time. She doesn't remember, probably. Whoops. That's what she says.
Well, I had a bunch of questions. I didn't get to ask them. So,
that's
so
okay.
now we'll just have to have you come back on. We took way too much of your time.
I never talk about this shit, so that's fun.
That's fucking where can we find you on socials?
Brent Morin, at Brent Morin. Everything's just my name. BrentMorin. I'm working on a podcast myself that will come out. Working on going to shoot my next special in 2025. We're working out all the details on that. Go. There's a chance that I might be doing a one-man show that we're developing right now with hopes of bringing it to Broadway, which is more
Let's
about
go.
Yeah, me and my little brother. It's this one man thing with music and all this.
Can you sing and dance?
I used to dance. No, I can sing.
Oh,
I don't think
really?
I could dance. I could dance
Because I
in
do
a
the opposite. I'm
comedy
a
show.
dancer. I can't sing.
Yeah, I've realized that I thought I could dance, and then I've seen videos, and I'm like, I
No.
can comedy dance.
Yeah, that's the dance you do in the shadows.
Yes. Oh, the shadows.
That
You get
shadow
real
dance, like,
flamboyant.
I'm gonna make a trip to the shadows soon. I have to.
Please no.
You have to. Please, no. So real.
You're coming with.
Yeah.
I want
All right,
to
I'm down.
Christian,
Yeah.
Brent Morin, Jungle
It works
Tea.
the best when your heart's broken.
Oh,
All right, I'm right there with you then.
Yeah. You gotta dance
I'm gonna
down
live
dark.
there now. Mm-hmm. I'm right after the Kings game tonight.
Yep. Get muddy. Get muddy.
Oh, thank you, Christian, Jungle Tea, Brent Morin for coming on another episode of Smoochie Town. I love you, baby. I still do. All right, bye.